Hello, this is Andy here. Wow, sound a bit posh when I'm without Tomo. Just a quick message. This isn't an ad. This isn't an Acast ad or anything like that. Not trying to flog you any beer or anything. It's just a quick message to let you guys know that this will be the final episode of our first series. We are going to be taking a short break. It should be 1 or 2 weeks, 2 weeks max. Both myself and Tomo are back, not behind the camera, in front of the camera, doing a little bit of work. So scheduling's been a little bit harder for the podcast. We do thank you very much for bearing with us, though. This is a great episode. If you do miss us, there is a load of episodes that you can go and binge on. There's some great guests that we've already recorded with. That you may not have heard, or you may not even know the guest. So give them a go. Go and have a listen. If you're listening to this because you're a boxing fan, and obviously you're a fan of Dave, go and give some of our other ones a listen. Just take a pick. They're all just as equally as funny, equally as entertaining. And we will be back soon with our second series, where we will be chatting with some more great actors, musicians, sports people, like David himself. Some big names lined up, some Hollywood stars lined up. Won't say who yet, and also some more guests that you would normally see me and Tomo talking to. Bit of a cryptic one there. Enjoy the episode. And we will see you in series 2. 2 weeks max. Thanks, guys.
We have set up a Patreon. We have set up a Patreon.
Patreon, however you want to say it.
Patreon. We have set up a Patreon.
What that does is that just helps us get things like train tickets, petrol for you. And it helps us get to bigger and better guests. We'll be doing cool little things on there, like
nice little giveaways.
You can put in your questions, and then we can talk to you. Please go on to
www.patreon.com/overrated everything. Another week. We've had some great feedback on Kel Spellman's.
Amazing feedback, guys, and we're glad you enjoyed it just as much as we did. And thank you for subscribing. Thank you for reviewing, like we asked at the end of that podcast. It's please do please subscribe, please review. I sound like a fucking YouTuber. like my little girl did that.
What?
Yesterday I was getting her ready. Remember I said a couple podcasts back on Sally's that Phoebe she said, I want to start making YouTube videos. So I was just after and that I was drying her hair in a mirror and I was brushing it, and she was talking to herself in the mirror, like going, "Hey guys," da, 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 da. And then when I finished brushing her hair, she went, "Like and subscribe."
Oh my God.
She's 4.
She sounds like you.
She's 4.
Maybe I'm going to get her in to host the rest of these.
I mean, if I can't make it one week,
we'll always get Phoebe.
Phoebe would be a great replacement.
Anyway, it's not about us. This week, this Monday.
You were excited about this one.
This was brilliant for me. And we touched on how me and David Allen,
who's the guest,
who is our guest, how we first met. Well, not really met, but sort of spoke online.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, it was brilliant.
Didn't you offer to fight him at a service
I wanted
station?
to fight him. Yeah, I straight away said. I won't ruin the story for you, but yeah, I was drunk and I messaged him on Instagram, and straight away we just clicked as like, I think we're pretty good mates. I think we will be after this. And just his character, anybody who knows boxing knows who David Allen is and who he is and what he's about. And he says it himself that he can't sort of comprehend how he can get away with a lot of things that he says, but he does.
Yeah. Like, I think I say it like instantly. Like when you meet him, you can tell he does. Yeah, because he's one of them big guys with a big smile, and you're like,
he's
you
get
a
away
BFG,
with it, really, and he's a bit. And some of the things that he does in his weigh-ins and what the things that he wears, and I was super excited about having him on. And just meeting him as well, I was a bit like.
Had you not met him before?
He's no, never met him.
Oh,
no.
Right, okay. I thought you had met.
No.
So you never went to the service station, you shit house.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah.
No, he didn't. You were sat there.
Yeah. I was waiting. I've been there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, let's get ready to. You can't say the real word, can you?
What, the Rumble?
Yeah, you're not allowed to say that. He's trademarked it.
Who has?
Whoever says that.
Ah, bullshit.
Yeah, no. If you say it now, this podcast will get taken down.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Right,
Yeah.
let's go
Don't
again.
say it. Let's get ready to fight.
Let's get ready to rack it. Yeah.
Rack it.
But yeah, no, we
Sound like fucking PJ
again-
Duncan now. Go on.
David invited us again, very, very kindly, around to his house in Doncaster, where he still lives. He's he's such a family man and such a. People think, oh, heavyweight boxer, he's just a bruiser, bro. He's such a sensitive bloke, and I learned that today. And yeah, I mean, his subject. Again, we went off as you lot know that we do.
Yeah.
But
We don't even need to say it anymore, do we? It's like we just go on tangents.
His subject was change, which I thought, like, I don't know, the change in one-way systems in a city or changing your phone. But we went into a lot deeper in terms of how people grow up and what happens in their lives and things that need to change and things that unnecessarily change. But again, I won't ruin anything for you. So we'll just let you crack on with this episode.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Leave a review. Tell your mates. And as a bit of a tip, don't offer heavyweight boxers out online.
Yeah.
Because they do see these messages. I never thought I'd see it.
Yeah, I mean that's. I mean, the listeners should know that. The listeners should 100% know never to offer a fight to a.
No, I'll just
even
fight
joking.
him. I'll fight him anyway. I'll fight him for charity. I don't care.
Oh,
me in a ring
you've
with
said
him.
it now.
Yeah.
Could you? I mean, would that be allowed?
I could
Would you just levy
swing everything at that guy and he would not even move.
No,
Not
he's
even
very
a bit.
big.
Is it? Yeah.
He's very
and
big.
He's
bloke.
like famously can take a beating. Like he's got. Yeah, he's made of steel. He just won't move. But anyway, I'm not fighting him. Enjoy
Okay.
the episode.
With what's his name? The
David Allen.
yeah, but the Doncaster.
Oh, the Doncaster De La Hoya.
The Doncaster
Or
De La
Papi-
Hoya.
Papi De La Hoya, he calls himself.
Papi De La
He's got
Hoya.
a lot of the white rhino. Enjoy.
Here he is.
Doncaster De La Hoya.
If you want, that'd be nice.
Yeah, we're rolling.
Yeah, we're here with the Doncaster De La Hoya, Dave Allen.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, good, spot on.
Cool.
Thanks for getting us in. I know you've been busy. You was at what was you doing on the weekend? You went to the fight, didn't you?
Went to Kelbrook fight in Sheffield.
Yeah.
Went, did lots of things over the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Talk us through your weekend. What did you get up to?
I left to go to Sheffield for 9:30. I was in Sheffield at 9:30. I was in the Pure Hotel at 9:30. Saturday morning. Had an interesting day.
Yeah.
A more interesting evening.
Yeah.
A very interesting night.
Yeah. But you've just been saying to us off pre-recording that you don't drink, do you?
I don't drink.
You've
no.
never drank.
No, so
She's good.
everything I do.
You can't blame it on anything.
You
No.
mean to do it?
Everything I do is planned.
Yeah.
And I carry them out with no shame.
Fair
But
enough.
it's good, like, say if you're on a night out, I can wake up in the morning and go, oh, God, I was a right dickhead last night, but I was pissed, so it makes it all right. You've got no excuse, have
Yeah,
you?
all them women, you know. I just,
Yeah, well-
you know what I mean. Like, it's just from being a disgusting man, not from drink. I've been there purposely. You know? There we go.
Bloody hell. So how come you don't drink? Just not fancied it really.
You know, my dad liked to drink as a kid.
Yeah.
And I just thought, you know what, it's just not something I wanna do or be.
And by not drink, do you mean like you don't get drunk, or you literally
No,
you
I
go in the
don't-
pub and you have like
I
a
don't
Coke?
drink alcohol at all. No, I it's my thing now. It's become my thing. When I was young, people were like, oh, you don't drink, but now it's like people go, that's really cool actually. You know,
It is.
Like,
Yeah,
not
that's
many,
it.
Not many people do it. So I'm 26 now. I've never needed a drink, so I'm just not going to start now. There's
Yeah,
no
don't
point,
start
really.
now, there's no point.
Yeah, that's it, mate. You like you're 26. Like when I was 26, it was like a couple of years ago. That's when I kind of started not drinking as much because I was a little kid and that. So your drinking days are done now anyway.
Yeah, you've
But
missed out on all the fun.
So what about like when it is like, because obviously Christmas is like just been and that. By the time this goes out, it will have been and stuff. But round Christmas, New Year's and that, does it get annoying? Like
No, you know, I don't need a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm that kind of character. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, you've had us in stitches for the past half an hour.
yeah, I don't need a drink. I'm just a lot of people think I am drunk. You know, when I'm at the box on Saturday, everyone thought I was drunk.
Yeah.
Just because of what I'm like.
That's good, that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun that you can do it without the booze. Like
They're all like, have you had a drink? I'm like, no. They're like, are you sure? I'm like, honestly, I've not had a drink at all.
I don't drink. Yeah, no, that's great. And the thing is like, say, like, you know, if everyone else is drinking as well, like, it don't matter if you are, like, you know, like you said at the top of the thing, you're talking about, like, if you're being a bit of a tit, it don't matter because everyone else is drunk anyway, so they'll just go,
you can get away
oh
with it.
yeah, they'll either not remember or they'll just go, oh yeah, that's just David, that's just
That's what they all say is going, fucking hell, that's it again.
So let's see if you're who you are sober. Yeah. Imagine what you'd be like with a fucking bottle of vodka in you.
Well, we also discussed that, and my answer we're not going to repeat now. We can't repeat that.
Yeah.
We've had to have a word with David pre-podcast.
But which is one of the reasons that I wanted to get you on. I remember, again, under the influence of alcohol, I was sat there one night with a mate of mine who was a boxer, and he got talking about you, and obviously I knew you was through the sport. I didn't realise how much of a character you was. And I messaged you on Instagram, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Yeah. So,
shit myself, didn't I?
So I was a bit...
What do you mean, you shit yourself? What?
I was a bit pissed off, and I wasn't actually hammered. I was just sat at mine up drinking a bottle of gin with my mate and Charles, and I just messaged him on Instagram just saying, I said, oi, what was it? Something along the lines of, oi, knobhead, let's have a fight.
Oh right, okay. To a boxer.
To a boxer, not just
a
boxer,
boy.
like a fucking heavyweight boxer. And I messaged him saying, "Let's have a scrap, me and you."
M180 services.
At the M180 services.
Really tickled me. For some reason, that really tickled me. But I read it and I shit myself at first.
What, have you not seen him in real
life? I realised who it was. And I thought, yeah, I'm all right now.
I'll fucking sort your tooth right out. You could.
Yeah.
But it was nice though because. I was a big fan of the This Is England series, so it was a nice surprise, you know, and here we are, so it was good.
Yeah.
I get a lot of that though. I get a lot of messages, a lot of jokey messages. Let's fight, and I just reply the same thing. Let's find you. I'll fucking toss you off.
Does that mean something different in Doncaster than it does in Manchester?
It means I'm going to get hold of the cock and I'm going to fucking shake it about a bit. They don't. They some of them don't know how to take it, I think, but some of them take it well, so it's all
But
right.
it's in your character, though, isn't it? It's who you are. But I think that's quality about you, and I think that's why the fans have got like a brilliant connection with you, because you are so real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good because, like you say, it's just me being me, and that's the nice thing. I don't have to pretend anything, so it's nice.
Nah.
I'm not having to fake anything.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
It should be hard work trying to keep it up.
Do you reckon faking it, do you reckon not faking it and being who you are and being real and not caring about things like that, do you reckon that could hinder your career? Because for us, as actors, we can't really do that. I know, Tomo, you're really quite straightforward and quite real, but you've had a bit of a telling off in the past on Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've had a bollocking.
I try not to, just because, you know, I've done things in the past working for, like, big social media companies and that, where I'm like, you can see how that can fuck someone up, basically. Do you think...
And you've got kids as well, so it's like you've got a little bit more to worry about.
Yeah. You can be, you know, there's me who I am with my mates, and then there's me who I am sort of my kind of out there on social media. And that. Do you reckon, like, as a boxer, does that matter as much as it does, say, an actor?
People were saying to me the other day, it was funny actually, 'cause someone said to me the other day, they said, any other boxer who carries on the way you do would be in trouble. I'm just being me.
You look like you've got quite a boyish you look like you'd get away with murder, like just like the little smile there, like you look like if you just smile at someone the right way, they're like, all right, okay, he's a big
But I think you know what, in boxing, a few boxers recently with social media, they come a cropper with saying things and it's harmed their career, but I don't try and antagonise anyone or be disrespectful.
But yeah, I just think it's just part of your character, and I think everyone who knows who you are through the sport like adore that about you. You're not fake. You don't say, oh, I spend fucking 10 hours a day in the gym. You know, you openly say in your interviews and stuff that you know you could train harder, but you just What's training like for you at the minute? Are you, because you were just saying that Eddie gets you to fight quite a lot, doesn't he?
Can I just say, what's training like at the minute? David's got a massive Disney cup of coffee and a cup of tea in front of him and 3 packets of crisps. So
Obviously, it's a bit of
training's
downtime.
going all right, isn't
Yeah,
it?
downtime at the minute.
You've only just had a fight, haven't you, not long ago?
Yeah, I had a fight not long ago. It was a bit of a rough fight, a bit of time off.
Scrap, wasn't it?
You know, I think I've got to a point now where we're looking at the big fights. I've fight 2 or 3 times. Hopefully more than 2 or 3. I like to fight all the time.
Yeah.
But probably got 2 years of my career left. These 2 years, I can set myself up for life.
You can change,
I have to work again. So I will put the work in. Mm-hmm. Obviously, these 3 packets of crisps, I'm not going to eat them all.
It's Christmas.
They're here for decorative purposes.
Like the tree.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm not a great trainer. I hate exercise. Mm-hmm. I hate it. I really don't like
Exercise is in what, like lifting weights and like running. But you love boxing. You enjoy boxing.
I love boxing,
which is probably the best exercise, isn't it?
I love fighting.
Yeah.
And another thing is, I've got older. Boxing's quite dangerous.
Of course it is, yeah.
Just a bit.
You two all know, because we're all we're a similar age, we're similar people, I think.
Yeah.
So when you're 20 and 21, you don't think you're going to see 50 years old. I don't know if you felt like that, but when you're 20, 21...
The way I drink booze and that, I often think
still
that,
not sure you're going to make it. But you just think, I'm never going to be 50, 60 year old. So why... I never used to worry about injuries and slurring speech and CTE and stuff like that, but... Now I think, I'm 26, I want to have kids one day. I might actually get to 50 and 60.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
now-
chances are you
you might actually have
Probably,
kids.
yeah, there's a good chance I will. I might have kids, I might already have some. So, I just need to... so now I'm being more sensible,
Yeah.
I need to train properly.
And I think it's part of growing up as well, isn't it? So Dave's subject was change.
Yeah.
Which brings us into what you've just been saying. I mean,
perfectly, actually, yeah.
Yeah,
Even
like
thinking
See how I
actually.
did that?
but I think the way people grow up, I think you do just sort of one day you just think actually the way I've been living my life is not for me.
Yeah.
And you do sort of make lifestyle changes, which is what you've just said there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a brilliant thing for you and your mentality and for the sport and for the fans as well. I think it'll be good to see, like Tyson Fury's change around at the minute. It's been a fucking amazing. And he's a good friend of yours, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's been struggling really bad over the years.
Yeah, didn't he come out? Didn't he after his battle?
It was
After his fight, he's just said he was dedicating it to sort of mental health, and because a couple of years ago, there was a lot of people kind of slagging him off really. Oh, fucking hell, Tyson Fury's done this, he's lost his mind and that, and from the outside looking in, it looked that way, and I never judge a book by its cover, man. That he was struggling with mental health problems as a lot of us do. So, yeah, I mean, you know Tyson then quite well. Yeah,
he's a special man, Tyson. He's a lot of people just see him as the boxer. So I know him a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
He's a character. He's a proper character.
He's from round my way.
Yeah, listen, he
fights out of Wivenshaw, doesn't he? Or Sale sometimes, I think he does. But yeah, no, he's
He's a special character, and like we're saying with change, like, you know what? Do people really want it to change something like life? Because that life's probably like people say, people who drink and do whatever else, take recreational drugs and whatever, they're probably having a pretty fucking good time, to be honest.
Well, it's like you
really
say,
change.
yeah, it's like you say, isn't it? Like, when you're younger, you do kind of sort of see yourself as invincible. You're like, well, it don't matter, like, I can do what I want because I might see 50, I might not, or I've not got kids, I've not got worries, so I guess not. I guess people who are kind of into that stuff are into it until, I guess, it comes a certain like yourself, when you go, right, okay, either I'm hammering this too much now, it's becoming a problem, or, right, okay, like, I've met a girl, I want to settle down, or I've met a fella, or I want to settle down, I want to have kids, and, like, that kind of change, it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing, so it's change is a really good subject, man. It's such a, because it does have such either really positive things about it or really negative, it depends how you look at it.
The only change I like is the one that I don't see,
like subtle change.
Yeah, I wish I was 14 forever, like I wish I was just go back to 14. When I was 14, life was good, I was in school.
But I bet at the time, I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel exactly the same. Like, I wish I was 14, 15 again, because it was mint life at school. But then, when you're 14, 15, you think, fucking hate school, I wish I could get out, get a job, or do my own thing.
I love school.
I was going to say, how was you in school? What was it?
There's a little mug there with Lewis Tomlinson on there.
Yeah, One Direction.
And I used to sit behind him in class.
Oh, yeah.
And some bird used to wank me off in class.
No, but what was school? So, was you training for boxing at a young age?
No, my first fight I was 18.
Your first professional fight?
Amateur fight.
Amateur?
Yeah, I didn't start boxing till long after I left school.
Yeah.
When I was at school, I was a soft kid really. I was quite a soft kid.
But you were big. You was big.
I weren't big. I was only small. I was really small kid. I was about 15, 16. But I was a football player. I was a good athlete. Always a good athlete.
Yeah.
But at school, I was pissed school. But I was quite intelligent. I was in high sets. I was intelligent, but I went to get my GCSE results, and I just assumed I was going to do, sixth form. I was going to pass another 2 years away in education, just another 2 years of doing nothing. I didn't want to get a job. I thought, if you don't get your GCSEs, you got to go straight to work at 16. I turned up for my GCSE results. I thought, I want to get about 10 C's and a few B's and C's. I got 3 GCSEs.
Wow.
Oh, right, okay.
So I said to my teacher, I said, Mr. Taylor, the PE teacher, I said, so what happens now? Like, can I go sixth form? And you got no chance of getting in sixth form. I said, so what do I do?
So you knocked him out.
And I went, what do I do now? And he went, I don't know. I said, like, what? No, what do I do? And I just remember that I would pure panic in the dinner hall, looking at him like, what on earth am I gonna do now?
Because you'd worked so hard at school to get your things.
No, the thing is, I've not worked hard. I've not done a thing. I spent my history lessons getting wanked off. My geography lessons, me and Lewis Tomlinson never turned up. We used to play tennis. We had double P before we won't go. When we turned up, teacher said, "You boys go straight out. Don't come in."
Yeah.
And I just thought, you know what? I pissed away the last 5 years of my life, and now I can't ruin the next 2. So I had to go in. So I started boxing then.
So that's a big, massive thing to think about at that age, isn't it?
Yeah, because I was 16 and a half when I left school, and I had nothing at all. Then that's why I started boxing, because I had nothing else to do.
So what is it that made you go? What I guess we've got it as actors. There's something that makes you go, well, I don't want to walk into a job 9 to 5 and earn. What was it that made you go, right? Fuck that call center or whatever. And getting because that's a big step. Getting in a fucking boxing ring is
mate. Yeah, it's not easy. Was it just quick before you said that? Did you get in a lot of fights at school?
No. I had 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And,
so it's not an anger thing why you was a boxer?
No, I'm not an angry person.
No.
I'm not really a fighter, really.
No.
I'm not a fighter. I'm not aggressive in any which way or anything.
Because there's a lot of discipline in boxing.
Yeah, I'm just not that. I'm not that way inclined. There's no aggression in me.
Yeah.
There's no aggression whatsoever. So, my dad was a professional fighter, so I just panicked and I didn't realise at the time how hard it would be to become a professional boxer. So, I just thought, you know what I'll do is I'll be a professional boxer and make loads of money.
Fair enough.
Make loads of money. Get loads of beds.
And over time, I've achieved what I wanted to do, but
yeah,
I didn't realise how hard it would be. Even though, I look back and think, oh, it was easy.
So what is it about change then that you just think is, because like you say, it can be a good thing,
Change, natural change is good. I don't like
forced.
I don't like forced change. I don't think it's for nothing good can come out of forced change, or nothing good. Forced change is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be a definition of forced change then?
Forced
So
change,
being forced to leave school with 3 GCSEs and not be able to carry on.
No, not that changes in anything. I don't like I said, I wish I was 14 again.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that I'm 26. Don't like my changing age.
Yeah.
I don't like waking up every day feeling a day older. Just change. I like routine. I like everything. I like to do the same thing. I do the same things every day, which is not a lot, as you can see. I just don't like change. I like everything to be the same. I've got the same friends I had as a kid.
Yeah, which is good. It's important.
Everything's the same.
Especially in what you do as well. It's important to keep the same
Got
people.
the same clothes on I had on yesterday.
Yeah, the same pants, but you're not wearing any
I
socks.
set my boxes inside out.
Oh man.
You know what? I just don't like
unnecessary change.
Yeah, I don't like change. I just wish wish I could go back to probably 2007 and just live that day.
Yeah.
One day from there, the rest of my life, I'd just.
Yeah. Do you
even
not
though-
think you get bored of it though? Like.
No, I change. I think it scares me more than anything.
Yeah, it unsettles me.
Yeah, I don't like thinking of the future because you just don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know who's gonna
But
leave
in
you. You don't know what.
But in a sense, I
Yeah,
find that
true.
exciting as well. Though I think, like what you've just been saying, if you get back into training, you've got a couple of big fights lined up with Eddie, and I think that could be the best thing that could happen. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, it can be life changing stuff, which is exciting. And I think only you can like change your own future. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that change is good. I'm talking the kind of change like. Do you ever watch My Wife and Kids?
Yeah, my wife and kids was wicked.
You know
yeah,
when they changed Claire.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
like it.
That when you change the cast or something.
You know Life on Mars.
Yeah, yeah.
To Ashes to Ashes. They got
Yeah,
John Sim.
I didn't like it as
Just
that
weren't
much.
the same. That's
Yeah.
the kind. I mean,
Life on Mars was
change
brilliant
in
as
general,
well.
but I just don't like change.
Yeah, like changing your phone. You know, you get people who change. Like you've got the same iPhone that's
The iPhone 5S came out, I don't know, 4 years ago.
probably more. Yeah.
But the good thing about that
6
though,
new phones every single time. From the
Yeah,
5S.
so you've just not changed your
Alright,
phone
fair
since. Yeah.
but the good thing with that is like when you do get a new iPhone, it's basically the same phone. It's just in a different skin, isn't it? Like,
They're too big now.
yeah, you're not a fan of the big ones.
You know what? I don't wear a watch. I don't have a wallet.
Yeah, I'm like that. I'm not a big watch.
Just a random zip pocket.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I just don't like it.
Yeah, but then that is very like you say that's something you'd have done at 14, I guess. Like I only got a wallet when I started like got a bank card and shit like that. Like,
I ain't got a wallet.
I lose bank cards all the time because I don't have a wallet.
you just look, yeah.
I'd have a Nokia 3210 if I could receive pictures of tits on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not interested in it.
I love that the only reason that you don't have it. Oh, that's
Yeah.
brilliant. That is
Do you know what I
brilliant.
mean? Like, that's a great
That-
quote, actually. I'm just
That,
thinking
that's
a
that's
fantastic
definitely
quote.
going on it. Yeah, that's
like,
great.
yeah.
But I know, yeah.
Forget Snake. So I mean, yeah, because I'm not a big fan of any kind of change really. Like I am very much like you. Like I in my head I go, oh, I wish I was like 14, 15 again, and I wish I could get up every morning and go to school and that. Even though at the time, like I hated school. Like I enjoyed obviously lunchtime. But I enjoyed having a laugh with my mates and shit like that. But like the lessons and that, it just bored me. But I don't know, because I think that. But then I go, well, actually, I don't know, because since I was 14, and probably like yourself, David, like you've done a lot, like with your fighting career and stuff like that. So then, there's all that to think of. Like I obviously think, oh, well, I've got my little girl now and my wife, and I didn't have them at 14. Like I knew my wife, but like we were just mates then, and it's all that graft again. I think if I could go back to that day, would I actually do it? Do you reckon you would? If someone literally came to you now with a DeLorean time machine and was like, get in, 88 miles per hour, bam, you're back in 2007, would you get in?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not. As much as I said I'd like to go back there, probably not.
Yeah, because it's one of them.
It's the graph you put in that time. Could I be asked to go for all
Yeah,
the
and
last
that's
11
it.
years?
And what do you reckon you do if you did?
I'd change a lot of things.
Would you change? Yeah,
a lot of things. Yeah, a lot of things.
Not too much though.
Not too much. But
Because
little
it
things.
makes
Yeah, I
you
mean,
laugh.
you're doing fucking
Little things I wouldn't have
swimming,
done. That big bird gave me chlamydia in 2010. She'd be out. She'd be gone.
Yeah,
Would you have gone round to is it Louis Tomlinson's house? Is it Louis Tomlinson?
Yeah.
Locked his door and you gone to the X Factor
You
audition?
know what? Back in the day, before my voice broke, I was a singer.
Did you have a good voice?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember singing with him in IT one day. You got a good voice, and I'm like, well, you on. We used to tell him you used to sing in assembly, like, you get and miss me.
Yeah, don't bother with it.
He's
Yeah.
a really nice. You know what? He's a really nice kid, and he always was, and he was a good footballer.
Yeah.
But I never thought he'd make it as a singer.
Imagine him.
crazy,
Imagine
isn't
him having a cup with your face.
Imagine
on
me
it.
on the. I just wouldn't fit in there. With that. I'm there 6'4", nearly 20 stone. With a nice looking boy, and just me sat on the end. So.
Yeah, no, it's like change happens to everyone, doesn't it? Every day, like changing cars and shit like that. How do you feel about like your every day-to-day shit?
Yeah, I was watching Price is Right a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
The price is right.
Televisions and fridges were more expensive in the 90s than they are today.
Yeah, of course, because they were
New on the market.
Yeah, and they were kind of less mass produced, I guess.
Yeah.
I remember my mum bought us. It was about 2006. It was when I left school. And my mum bought like one of the first like flat screen TVs that was out. It was like a Sony Bravia, but it had like a massive back on it. Still, it was like massive, and that was like I'm sure she paid about £2,000 for it.
Yeah.
And for like a 48-inch telly. Nowadays, you can pick up a 48-inch telly for like £200, can't you?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
crazy,
Especially on Black
like,
Friday, you get everything cheap on Black
Well,
Friday.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Black Friday, is it soon? Is it
It's
gone?
just
gone.
been on it,
right.
yeah. It's like end of November, I think.
Next year then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest thing about change that scares me is grandparents.
What, your grandparents?
Yeah, you know, like you see people grow old.
Yeah.
That's a change.
And your grandparents still about?
Yeah, you know, one of them died before I was born, but the rest are all alive, you know,
Yeah.
87, 85, 83, and you just think, you know what, that's going to be a big change. That's the biggest change. I think in my life, that's the biggest change to come.
Yeah, well,
Grandparents
when you get
passing
older.
away and stuff,
Yeah.
you know.
Are you quite close to them?
Yeah, very,
Yeah.
very.
Yeah.
I still live in Doncaster, essentially, so I can still see my nan.
Really?
Oh, that's
wow.
nice.
Oh, good on you, mate.
So I lived in Leeds for a few years. I came back and thought my nan's getting old. I've come back more or less really just to be near her. You know, she
Yeah.
lives about a mile from here.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest change. People growing old, and it's you just think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
because
nice.
I mean, I was very close to my gran. She died 2014, yeah. And yeah, I remember being a kid, even being like my early 20s and seeing my gran because my gran was quite ill, and like being round her house and thinking, I've always done this. I've always come round to my grandma's pretty much every day, and sat and had dinner and all that. And in the back of my head I go, what will it be like when grandma's not here anymore? Like, we'll still do that and that. And it's not a thing. Like she died and the family kind of split apart and stuff. My uncle still lives there. But I just I want to try and like hold on to things there, like you say, like her house. My uncle lived there with her, and then when my gran died, they were trying to like kick my uncle out and give him like a cottage flat or something like that. And my uncle went to the papers and that was like, this is my home. It's been my home for years. Like, you know, this is where I want to stay. And we all got behind because we were like, yeah, we don't want to lose. We've lost my gran because we don't want to lose her house now. Because
that would be a massive change. Like.
Yeah. I mean, it was the house. Like I'm dead close. Like I say to my grandparents. Like you are. Like, you know, I that was my first house that I lived in. Like I lived there till I was about 3. Like, yeah, you get it's crazy, innit? You get so attached to things, and when one little thing changes, it's not just that one change. It's the events that then changes. Like my gran dying then means that like I don't really see my aunties anymore, or we don't really, the family's a bit separated and that's a shit change. Like,
Yeah, but I suppose as you get older, that's when you can sort of reflect on your life in it and think that at least you've done something. And the shit that you've done and the shit that we've done, it's always going to be there. Do you know what I mean? People are always going to remember you. So at least we've all, you know, very fortunate enough to be able to make a stamp on people around his lives. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, my biggest fear growing up was that I was not going to do anything with my life. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So you know, I speak to my grandparents, I speak to my nan, and
Are they super proud of you?
yeah, they're proud of me. But you know what I mean? Like you speak to older people, and they think, and they're always unfulfilled with their life. You know what I mean? Like, and this is gonna sound weird, but I always go to my nan's old house. Like, I don't know who lives there now, but I always go for a walk and I go and have a look at it.
Yeah.
So if they're listening to this, probably not, because I'm not sure who they are. They may be.
Yeah.
Don't be worried about the big fellow looking at your house. it's only me. Do you know what I mean? I'm very I get very nostalgic. I reminisce all the time.
It's good though.
When I'm with my friends, we talk about back in the day all the time. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember that?
You can sit for hours, can't you?
Every day.
Yeah.
Same stuff every day. Oh, remember when you did this?
But then that's exciting, the shit that you're still doing today. And like you said, with the weekend that you've just had in Chef.
Yeah.
Like, that, in 10 years, you'll be talking about that sort of stuff.
We was talking about that, saying, like, we're always talking about back in the day.
Yeah.
But this will be back in the before you know it.
You're always
this will be
doing
like you
exciting
said-
shit, always.
Yeah, like you said then, at like you wish you could go back to being 14, you know, to be in school and all that. But then like I do that. So I go, oh, I wish I could be back 14. And then some days I'll go, oh, I wish I was 18 again. And like we went to, remember that weekend we went to Blackpool, and do you know what I mean? You constantly, you don't realise like how good life is until say
It's
5 years
gone.
down the line.
You're quite lucky that you don't drink alcohol, so you can
remember it all.
You can remember everything.
recollections.
I always say that I'm constantly making memories that I can't remember. I know for a fact that when I went to Blackpool 3 years ago, I know I had a fucking sick night. Can't remember what I did. I ain't got a clue.
Yeah.
I don't know what I've done.
People talk about that. Going back to drink, people say, you know, like drunken one night stands, for example.
Mm-hmm.
They're very overrated. People say
What one night stands are overrated?
Drunken one.
because what's the point? You can't remember it.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's
That's
very,
true.
very true, yeah.
Is the I call it the final feeling. If you're that drunk and you can't
final
remember
feeling.
it, is
Yeah.
it there? Like, and if you're that drunk, I think being drunk is overrated because how can you remember if you can't remember it? What's the point?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it depends, doesn't it? How
Getting merry.
drunk
You just said you had a great night, but did you have a great night? Because you don't remember it. Was it
Yeah,
a great
that's
night
it.
then?
All I remember is like being sick in a cave and probably having a fight with someone.
The only thing you remember is the first few hours or whatever that you went out. So was it a great night? You're not even sure, really.
And the
then
first
the
few hours
stink-
were brilliant, but
And then
then
the stinking
like, yeah.
hangover.
But do you remember anything? When you're that drunk, do you remember anything?
No,
from
you
that?
don't. You don't remember a lot of it. You sort of like you get little snippets of what's happened, and so it'd be good to have you one as a mate,
Storyteller.
one storyteller, two you can drive. So you designate.
I can't drive.
Oh, you're not
I
a
can't
license.
drive.
Oh
No.
fuck! I don't want to be your mate then.
he hates me because I don't drive as well.
Well,
So
people always say that to me. Like,
Why they should all have a whip
you
round
don't
and get
drink. You don't drink, so you should be driving. But
You get loads more birds if you drive.
I'm
mate.
useless.
You get more birds if you drive. It's fact.
I mean, it
I've
sounds
got
like
to-
David's doing all right. To
Yeah.
be fair, yeah.
With women, I'm underrated.
You're underrated
I'm
with the women. I
underrated
think
with
women love you, don't they?
Yeah, I know, but I'm still underrated with them.
But you want more.
No, I don't want them. You know what? In life, I want to. Who in life don't want to be wanted? Do you know what I mean?
You're right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're all sort of like searching for that, I guess.
I went through a long period in my time where I was using my pecker to be loved.
That's pretty deep, that, mate.
I just wanted. That's another
Well-
great quote.
Yeah, this
Using my pecker to get loved.
Yeah, this
Well,
David Allen's list.
So what do you mean? So like, what? You know, without getting like fucking Freudian and deep and that, like, what do
It's
you
like,
mean?
it's like women, you know, women who throw themselves about, throw their bodies about, and
Hmm.
they're just looking to be loved, aren't they? But I always say, like, we have to do what makes us happy first and foremost.
Yeah, of course.
Be that right or wrong, that is what we will do as human beings.
And
It's
that's
human
down to you to
nature.
make that
That is
mistake.
what we will do. Yeah, and if that's if that is deemed a mistake,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry.
everything that we do is up to us. Like, we're only told, we've been brought up being told what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
You know, but what really is right and wrong? What is right and wrong? If we're gonna get really deep, like, what is right and what is wrong? Really,
Yeah,
we're
no,
told that murdering people is wrong, and obviously it probably is wrong. To be fair,
Yeah, it's pretty
so,
wrong.
Like, but like thousands of years ago, it used to happen day in day out. And,
Yeah.
and nothing happened. And
Again,
it was just
this-
normality. Like,
Yeah.
we are told. We are told what to do and what not to do, and when to eat, when to go to sleep. It's dark now. We go to sleep.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be sleeping in the daytime. Maybe we're doing this wrong, all wrong.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
say,
that's-
Like,
you're
again,
absolutely
All sorts of
right.
things, like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
talk
you're
about
right.
anything, like, obviously murdering there. I feel like I may have gone a bit extreme.
No,
with
but
the
I think
murder
you're
shout,
right,
but
because-
in terms of what's right and wrong, like who's the
Yeah.
judge of that, I don't know.
Well, I mean, like you say, like you know, murder is wrong. Obviously, don't
Probably,
go
yeah.
doing it, guys.
Yeah.
But
But in some
why is it
instances, it might be.
okay for? I mean, why is it, you know, in that sense? Yeah, obviously, I'm never going to murder anyone, and nor should anyone who's listening. But then, why is it okay for Donald Trump to order a bomb strike on a town in Syria or something?
Yeah.
Like that? Why is that murder okay? For whatever reason, even if he's getting the terrorists or he's getting the whoever, why is that right? And do you know what I mean? Like, it's a weird situation. I think you're right.
It's crazy. Obviously, we're way off track now, but
It's fine, mate. This is how it goes.
All these all these airstrikes and all these kids being killed. Cause
It's horrible, man.
If this was happening in Wythenshawe, in Doncaster and Grimsby,
they'd
it'd
be
be front
uproar.
page news and
Yeah.
it'd be breaking BBC and the telly
Yeah.
would turn itself on to tell us about it.
Well, it was
It's-
sadly front page news when it started, and now
day
it's
in, day out, doesn't it? It's mad.
yeah, exactly that. It's typical day in day out, and it's fucking so sad that.
But it's the world is changing. Again, going back to the subject, it's changing in such a fucking bizarre way.
Well, I mean, yeah and no. It's always been that way, I guess.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
changing
obviously
in a bizarre
now
way, but also there's good change happening. You know what I mean? Every day there is good things happening.
people are a bit more aware of it. I think people are a bit more kind of against it now. Like if you can imagine, back even like say World War II or whatever. You had the Nazis flying over here bombing us, and then us flying over there bombing them, and that. And I can imagine
and that.
Well, no,
Flying over there and that.
But like at the time, you would have people in the street singing, "Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler?" All that, like it was celebrated. When you think about it, it's like London's getting blown up. Not army barracks. London,
Yeah,
schools,
the public.
hospitals, the public. That's happening in Germany as well. Not Nazis.
yeah, of course.
Schools. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I think nowadays we people are a bit more awake to it, and they're going, hang about, we're not just blowing up ISIS compounds.
ISA is a bank account.
ISIS bank account. ISIS compounds. We're blowing up schools, hospitals, actual people. Like have you ever seen that picture where it's like, is it Syria kind of 20 years ago and Syria now? And it's like Syria 20 years ago look beautiful, like really nice sort of town, city, whatever.
All inclusive hotels and stuff.
Possibly, yeah, man. Like
but
it was a.
It was just
When Henry was over there opening premiere.
But no, it's the world is changing, but I mean for the good.
Hopefully.
Good and bad.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
And people always say, like, obviously you were brought up in Grimsby, I was brought up in Doncaster. We say, oh, it's fucking rough there.
Yeah.
People always say to me, like, what kind of childhood did you have? And I said, well, it weren't great in terms of being brought up in. With some of my friends, had all sort of big house and whatever.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Thank God I weren't brought up in Syria or
Yeah,
Africa.
exactly, yeah.
I said, I ate every day. I
Yeah,
said, I slept
that's
in
it.
bed every night.
And it's what you know as well, isn't it, man? Like, Tomo's dad used to scare him when he was younger that if he was naughty, he'd send him to live in Wythenshawe. And I grew up there, and I fucking love it. Do you know what I mean? So it's.
But we are all fortunate to have the upbringings that we are, aren't we? Like, yeah.
I'll tell you what else
Go on.
is overrated.
Go on.
Underrated.
What's
I'm gonna go
underrated? So for the first time on Overrated Everything, we're discussing something that's underrated.
Underrated is the fact that we get to sleep in a bed every night in the house. I'll tell you
Yeah.
something, what is on the up in Doncaster at the minute, homelessness is unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Every street corner there's two or three of them. And I just think it's underrated the fact that we I think a lot of us take it for granted. I get into bed every night and I don't give it any thought, but
Yeah.
homelessness now, like we're talking about the world and how it's getting better and how fortunate we are. I think there's fucking homeless
There's still
people
a lot
in Britain
going
in
on.
2018. How can people be homeless in 2018 in Britain, England?
In one of the world's
Richest.
countries.
And there's homeless people all over the gaff in Doncaster. I don't know how it is.
Same, yeah. Manchester's exactly the same. There's a big spice epidemic there now.
That's
with
the problem.
homeless.
That's the problem. Doncaster where market is, there's like zombies all over.
It's really sad, isn't it? I mean, it's like you say, there's no denying that we do appreciate the nice things that we've got in life.
Yeah.
But
I think
sometimes you do sort of forget how very, very lucky we are.
Yeah.
And especially when you go to places like, I don't know, I've been over to Cuba on holiday. People over there haven't really got much, but they are so appreciative of what they have got, and they're happy, and it's just such a bizarre thing that, bringing up the homelessness, it's becoming such a bad thing, isn't it?
I've seen tents now in London, walking down Tottenham Court Road in London. There's I think it's outside like Habitat. There's like about 4 or 5 tents set up. The only other place I've seen that in my life is in LA, in the States. Like, it's crazy. I've never seen, like, you've seen homeless people and stuff like that, but now it's got to the point where, by the look of it, they can't even get into what they call like hostels.
Yeah.
They're asleep on the street in tents. Like, that's crazy.
I wonder what a tent's going. A tent must be going for a bit of money down there, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I think there's charities in that.
You should just head to Leeds Festival at the end of the
Yeah,
weekend.
well, I think there is a charity that does
Yeah,
that.
if
There's a
If I
charity
was
that
homeless, me,
picks up.
like the sad thing about it is the first thing people say like I was talking to a friend and we want to do something with it in Doncaster, like homeless. We were trying to get involved with something.
Nice,
and
man, yeah.
We want to get involved with something like that. And the first he said to me, he said, "What would you do if you was homeless?" I said, to be honest, I'd get myself locked up. Somehow, some way, I'd get myself locked up.
I've often thought that, yeah, but then
Nice and warm, and that's the problem. That's what they do. Because our thoughts are all the same. They're thinking, let's commit a crime and get locked up.
Yeah, then
But
you go
then-
to jail.
Free meals a day, and you're in a nice warm cell.
But then I have
Sad
looked
reality.
at
Yeah.
homeless people and thought, why aren't they doing that then? What, you know, there must be something there in being a bit free as well. I've done work in the past where I've spoke to homeless people and
And
some of them don't even go to the hostels and that at night. Like they want to be not want to be on the streets, but they're like, this is me now. This is I'd prefer to be here. I don't want to be told what to do by a hostel. Don't want to be told I have to be in at this time and out at that time. Like they're
And
kind
it's-
of
and-
they're still their own people. Do you know what I mean?
and alcohol and drugs as well is a big factor of it.
Yeah.
I
that's
don't give money to the homeless.
You'd rather
I-
get them a Greggs or
Yeah,
always
would-
buy them food.
I would stress to people listening to this: don't give them money because you become part of the problem. In helping, you become part of the problem.
But then there's the argument. A friend of mine said it to me once, and I was like, because I'm the same. Like, if I go to McDonald's and that, especially if I'm on like a night out, if I go to McDonald's and there's a homeless person outside, like I will, get them like a burger and chips and that. Like, it's £2, £3 to me. It's fucking them eating all night to them.
Yeah.
But one of my mates said to me, he's like, why not give them money? And I was like, but because they might spend it on drugs. And they're like, so they're grown people. Let them make their own. And I get it to an extent. He's like, it's up to them what they spend their money on.
But then you're like Dave just said. Then you're then funding the problem.
Do you know?
aren't
Yeah.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, I remember I was walking through town with my dad. My dad's pretty old school, and I was walking through Manchester with him a couple of years back now. I think we went to watch the wrestling at the MBN, and we walked past a couple of homeless people, and they were smoking something. I think it might have been spice or whatever. And my dad was just like, oh, bloody disgusting that, innit? And I was like, what? And he was like, just on drugs. And I just kind of looked at my dad and I went, wouldn't you though? Like if that was
because
your
how you
only
feel.
kind of warmth of a night, I was like, don't look down your nose at them doing drugs. Look past that and go, look at this poor fucking guy who's on the streets, freezing cold, and his only enjoyment out of life is having a bit of
Some people have bad experiences. I had a bad experience with a homeless man.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was outside Doncaster train station. I'd be about 16, 17. And he'd ask me for 40p every day.
Yeah.
And I said no. He was a really big fella. He was trying to intimidate everybody. And then the bus fare went up from 40p to 50p. So I think I used to go to the train every day to the gym when I started boxing. I was going to Sheffield every day. And then one day I thought, you know what? I said 40p. I said you're 35. I said you look about 35 years fucking old. I said you ain't getting on no bus for 40p. First of all, you know what I mean? Like how you getting on a bus for 40p?
Yeah.
Secondly, it's 50p now. Anyway,
So he's not going for the boss.
I said to him, you ain't going for the bus. And he was like, oh, and he got really upset. And you could just see that he just wanted it that badly to go and score his drugs and that. And
That's it.
sad.
and it's
It is sad.
so sad, but at the same time,
It's
I couldn't be part of that. I couldn't be part
No,
of
you don't
going
want
to
to-
buy. I couldn't give him any money. So
Yeah.
I couldn't be part of that. Him going to carry on doing what he's doing, but
It's-
someone else is gonna anyway.
Yeah, it's exactly
Addiction's
that.
an illness, though, isn't it? Like addiction is an
I've
illness.
been addicted to gambling. I've been addicted to probably masturbation as well. Do you know what I mean? Like as truthful as it is, you're
Yeah.
addicted to sexual goings on.
Yeah.
Addicted
There's
to
people who are
gambling.
addicted to
And people won't put their nose up at that. If I said to you now,
True.
I'm
Addicted to
addicted.
gambling.
If a man said to you, I'm addicted to having sex, I'm addicted to gambling, you'd say, oh mate, like, oh that's. Well,
Sometimes you'd laugh it off.
The first one you laugh at, oh, I'm
Yeah.
addicted to sex. You go, oh, all right.
Yeah,
Addicted to
yeah.
gambling, you say, fucking hell, mate. I know I am as well. All men now between 18 and 30, we've all got a little problem somewhere. But if I said to you, I'm a drug addict, you say, that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
But it's
you're
not, it's an
fucking
addiction,
so
it's
right.
Or
mate.
you know,
you
or
only
alcohol.
gotta do anything once. You come addicted. That's why I won't drink and I would never take a drug. It only takes one time to become addicted to something.
Yeah.
that's it. It takes one good experience with something to make you go, right, okay, I'm having that. Like, yeah, that's amazing.
Same with anything. It's like, people always fucking let's bring anything to sex, but you have sex one time. If you get chlamydia, I said I had chlamydia once earlier, and you laughed at it. And if I said I had unprotected sex and I got chlamydia, you'd laugh at it. If I said I had unprotected sex once and I got AIDS, I'm the most disgusting man in the world. But it's the same argument
It's
again.
the same
It's
Yeah.
you only do it, and addicted to gambling, addicted to drugs, addicted to anything like it's all addiction. It's just
Yeah,
it's just a
addiction
different-
it's an illness, and like you say, people can look at people on the streets and go, "Oh, look at the state of that," and it's like, the thing is they need help. Like what you were saying, they need help from people like you who will go out of the way and try and help them, and
Yeah,
like
something
you
needs-
buying them a burger, and
Yeah,
that sort
I
of
mean-
thing is helping. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. And a lot of the charities do say don't give people change on the streets. Give them give to the charities themselves. You know what I mean? And it's right. Like or buy them food. Because you do just become part of that vicious circle, don't you? If you give them money, it possibly might go on alcohol or drugs. You can't say it definitely will, but it possibly will. But no, it is a sad reality of the world, isn't it, nowadays? But then, like
Again,
you say,
it's change, isn't it?
yeah,
Things are slowly changing.
that is another change. Like the world's becoming, for me, it's becoming. I think it's becoming a worse place. I think as I get older, I think social media is a big part of it.
yeah.
it fuels it.
We're growing up in an era now where like I worry. I ain't got kids yet, but I worry about my kids growing up.
Yeah.
I just think, what's the world like in 20 years' time?
Yeah. Do you reckon that's us, and that's because the world is genuinely getting a bit shit, or do you reckon our mums and dads at 26, 28 thought the same? Because you do have such a good time when you're in your teens and your early 20s. You do. You have the best time of your life, and then you get to sort of your mid-20s and you start to settle down and you start to ponder things. Is that just a natural thing? Did your mum and dad in the 90s, when they were around that age, think, oh, fucking hell, like all these kids have got, Game Boys, they're just looking down at that, and what they're going to do, they're all sat in front of Nickelodeon, and do you know what I mean? Is that a natural part of life, or?
I don't know, I think if we look statistically, I think crime, everything bad is on the rise.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, and I don't know, I'm not up to date with all that kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm just thinking the kind of change I'm talking about. Like obviously, I'm talking about Claire out of my wife and kids.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But I'm
Yeah.
also talking about like just the world's changing, and like I say, whether it's just because we're getting a bit older and we're starting to think, fucking hell, we're old now. But like the world's changing. I don't like it.
It's
I
becoming
don't like where we're
worrying.
going.
Us worrying about the changes, us growing up, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Because when you're a kid, you might see it in the news that something's happening. You're like, oh fuck this! I only care whether Rooney's scoring a hat trick on the weekend.
Yeah,
But
that's it.
maybe I think social media is another thing because we're seeing everything. These videos about kids getting beat up and bullied.
We used to share them.
Going on
Yeah,
since
yeah, yeah.
surely since
I
years
remember
ago,
them
but we're
going
seeing
round.
it every day now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Happy slapping.
Happy
Yeah, we're
slapping.
seeing it
Even
all,
like you
aren't
say,
we? It's
like
there for
there
us to see.
was like videos in my school when we were. I remember, we all got stop searched and that once because there was a video of like one of the girls in our year like having sex. It went around the school and disgusting. And like I say, that happens all the time now. It seems in the media, but it did happen when we were younger as well.
It's just social media's got just give it that fucking platform.
We were saying,
Everyone uses it.
Is social media overrated or underrated? What is it? Social media.
It's a
What
tough
is it?
one.
What do you
Innit?
I
think?
don't know. I think social media is brilliant for some stuff.
Yeah.
If your lawnmower gets nicked, you're gonna fucking find it.
Yeah,
on social
exactly.
media.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's spreading a terrible message and
But the
all sorts of terrible stuff.
Because the thing is they say don't like you just touched on there, like the world seems to be changing. There always seems to be bad things happening. Them bad things have always probably been happening. You just didn't hear about them as much back in the day because you had BBC News at 10 and that was it. And before that, you had a newspaper that was printed every morning.
Teletext.
You had teletext. Nowadays, if there is a natural disaster or a terrorist attack or anything,
You get notifications
you know
on your
about
phone.
it. Yeah, you've got a notification on your phone. You jump on Twitter, people are talking about it live. You're watching videos of it live, which is fucking horrible and daunting. So has the world changed? Is it getting worse, or has it always been bad? But we just through social media, we just now know about it as soon as it happens. Do you know what I mean? I think 30, 40 years ago, when the only kind of proper news that you got was, like you say, the telly, or a lot of people read newspapers. Them newspapers, one, have an agenda, and two, especially back in the day, probably, quietened it down a bit. So if there was like a big terrorist attack or something like that, I think maybe back in the day it was a bit more like, okay, so this has happened, that's happened. When, say, the Manchester bomb happened, for instance, people were sharing fake images online of horrible things, then real images and video. Like, you're just unprotected from that horrible darkness of the world a little bit more now, I think.
Yeah.
Which is
it's
a
scary.
bad change.
And like what Dave said, it's like having kids. It's a scary thought, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I with my little girl's 4, and like say, when I was a kid, I never used the news would be on, whatever, and you never took notice of it because it was your mum and dad's program or your grandma's program. It was just the news. But I put the news, like the news will come on now at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock news. We'll be having dinner and I might just flick through and it'll come on. I can't keep it on because it's too dark for my 4-year-old kid to be watching at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't watch the news.
No,
That scares me.
Yeah, I've stopped watching it more and more.
And there's never any good news.
No,
No.
never. Local news, like a random dog's fucking save some.
Someone's like,
That's it. Local news could be really good, can't it? Which is nice.
I love local news. Look north for me.
Yeah.
We've got.
I won't watch the BBC News at 10. Someone died.
Yeah, that's it. There's always been something. And then, like you said before, just to touch on, like, are we worrying about it a bit more now because we're older? And I genuinely think, right, like this Brexit shit, I get bits of it. I don't get a lot of it. Like, it's just a bit confusing.
Brexit's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all a conspiracy.
But the thing is, though, is now I'm 28 and I'm watching the news and I'm listening out for Brexit and stuff just because I'm like, right, how will this affect me? Yeah. I think if I was 18 years old and we were going through all this, I'd be like, fuck it, I'm not bothered about Brexit. I'm still going to go out with my mates and have a good time, still going to go to the pub. But now you get old and you go, I'm looking at it going, well, my price of my pint's gonna go up. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or even serious, like obviously serious stuff's gonna fucking go out.
Bird flu shit me up though.
Bird flu was scary. Yeah.
I remember being in bed at like 15, laying there like my mum tucking me. I'm not even. She used to tuck me until I was at least 17.
Oh really?
Yeah, a little peck on the cheek and that. And I said, I remember saying to her like. I was laying back there trying to do an impression of what I was doing in bed. I was doing like this.
Great for us, but shit for podcasts.
So I was laid back and I was like, this bird flu, like, is it real? And she went, she said a little fucker, she went, yeah.
Good night.
And I was laid there for about an hour thinking, oh my God, the whole world's going to die. This fucking bird's going to kill us. I genuinely thought we were going to kill us all. That's what happened when you watch the news at 15.
Yeah, it does scare
I remember back in the day there was, what's his name? Nostradamus. No, that's the fucking. That's Nostradamus. Nostradamus is the brilliant album by Nas. No, it was Nostradamus, and my mum was saying. I remember my mum's a big worrier, and she was saying, "Oh yeah, this is the day." I think it was in like 1999 or somewhere around there, that the world was supposed to end. This Nostradamus had predicted it hundreds and hundreds of years ago, right? and 2012 won it as well.
Yeah.
It's going to end. And I remember getting dead worried as a kid. And same thing, I asked my mum, and because my mum's such a worry, she was like, I don't think so. Yeah. And like we sat up all night pretty much. I was like 9. Sat up all night waiting for the fucking world to end.
I just love the idea of you later, and they're just going, yeah, it's going to happen. Night, love you.
I was a proper worrier as a kid. Proper worrier.
Yeah.
Talking like 10, 11, just like, when I knew like, just to check myself for lumps. I mean, I was obsessed.
But that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
I was obsessed.
Yeah.
I was there running my fingers down my chest.
Is that how your masturbation?
Oh, shit.
I look like some bird in one of them fucking solo masturbation videos. Birds, like, just like, rubbing my chest for about 10 minutes. I get all the my balls and that, and I'd just be like.
But I mean, that's again,
proper worry.
Yeah, that's
proper
good.
worry.
Worrying too much is obviously a bad thing, and that can lead to it can lead to mental health problems and things like that.
I've diagnosed myself with fucking AIDS 100 times.
Do you reckon as well?
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. If I have a cold, I genuinely think, like, fucking hell, this is my time.
Without sounding like whatever, like you know, that is a very man thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, my missus, she can get up and she can have an headache and she can carry on doing stuff. Sometimes it'll, you know, knock a day and that. But I'm like, are you all right? Do you want to go to the doctors? Do you want to get this? Do you want some this? Do you want some painkillers? She's like, it's all right, I've got an headache. When I get an headache, I've got a brain tumour. 100%. I'm like, fucking hell, I've got this, I've got that. She's like, you've got an headache. I've got like a lump on the back of my head here. And I'm feeling going, babe, what's that? What's that? What is it? And she's like, it's a mole. I'm like, a mole? What? She's like, don't worry, you're all right, dickhead.
But again, like the whole masculinity of men, innit? We're all like, we always worry too much, but I don't know. But I think that's probably a good time to.
Yeah, we can wrap that in now. It's been an hour and 3, so that's mate. Honestly, a really nice chat, David.
Yeah,
Thank you very
it
much.
got a bit serious there.
Yeah, it got a
But
bit
that's
deep,
it, man.
didn't
It's
it?
nice to do. It's nice to do, and it's yeah, it's been a pleasure chatting with you.
I've
Yeah,
really
nice one,
enjoyed
mate.
that. Thank you.
Wicked.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks very much. Yeah, that for me went differently to how I thought it'd go, and it went differently to how I thought it'd go pre-meeting him, and then it went differently to how I thought it'd go halfway through. Because and you listen back again, guys, to get this if you want, and it puts the listens up. Like at the beginning, because we'd only just met him, he was quite laddish and he's quite you know chatting and that and mint, and you see that side of him. But then I think with his subject, the chat got deep.
Yeah, it got very deep, and it was nice to see that side of him that you know a lot of people might not have seen. If you follow David on Instagram, he does a lot of live streams with his fans.
Yeah,
and he's such a fan-orientated boxer, and he's grateful for where he is. And you know, it just goes to show that he's openly says that he's not a hard worker. But
he says that in this as well. Yeah,
he
said he just wants to do now.
He just wants to do nothing, which, you know, at least he's not openly pretending to be someone else. He's always been himself, and that's all he will ever be. And I with the things that he was saying, I think he's planning himself a next couple of years are going to be massive for him.
Yeah, I think he says done it like he wants to kind of these next 2 years like really push it, which, you know, all the fucking best to him, man. Like,
and I think if he puts in the hard work, he can fly, man, and I think he will. I think he will fly.
Yeah,
I think like I say, it's going to be the next couple of years for him is going to be big.
and fair do, man, because again, like you say, you know, like I say, meeting him and because I'd only ever really heard you talk about him, prior to meeting him and that, and when. You know, like I say, when we started chatting, I was like, "Oh, right, this is podcast. There's going to be a laugh. This podcast is going to be laugh. And
it was.
And it was, but then it got really nice for me at the end.
Yeah.
And because I like that, I like getting quite deep. And it got to a nice.
I've seen what you're packing, mate. You ain't getting deep. No matter how hard you try.
When have you seen what I'm bloody packing? But yeah, no, and it got really nice, and I loved that because it, like you say, it's showing a different side to this heavyweight boxer who, you know, online and on Instagram, etc., he's built up this sort of almost character of himself.
No, but that's the thing. I think he's.
Well, no, it's not a character. It's him.
That's who he is.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. Yeah.
He's not a different guy.
No, yeah, you're right. Maybe character is wrong phrase. Wrong phrase there, but he's built up this. He's built himself online, and he's he's quite sort of funny and stuff like that. But then everyone's 3-dimensional. It was nice to sit down and then hearing him talk about his genuine worries about growing up and about like his grandparents. That touched me because, like I said, you know, I lost my I say recently, it was like nearly 5 years ago now, so it's kind of recent, but she was a big part of my life. Like he's saying about his grandparents, a big part of his. So it was really nice to hear that. It was really nice to hear a big hard bloke get soft. Yeah, I love that, and I love that, and that's that's the
he's not
beauty
that
of
hard.
people. You know,
Not-
well, I
no, he's
mean,
not that hard.
are you going for round? Are you going to go for round 2?
Yeah, I'll do him any day. Doncaster service station.
David, if you've heard that, which I hope you have, please come and just knock him out for
Game
me.
on.
And then come and host the podcast if you want, because we got on like an house on fire.
Yeah, no, it was really good, and again, we're just grateful for everyone that's listening and donating to the Patreon and leaving reviews, and just thanks again, and we'll see you again next week.